Oh my, yo. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to a very interesting episode of Friends and Family Podcast, Season 6, Episode 10. We're all here, plus some, and then some. If you've been rocking with us since Season 1, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Shout out to you as a fan, and thank you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get very spicy today, so wherever you are, make sure you're not drinking any water.
Drink some wine.
Wine,
Hennessy.
you know, or any of that, so you don't spit it on yourself when things hit, because it's gonna hit at some point. I'm sure of it. And you see the lineup.
It will.
So I'm sure
It will.
it's gonna happen. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
Hello. Welcome.
Yo.
Everybody's here plus one.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't like this lineup.
Yeah,
I feel like we're gonna get attacked.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I hope you're getting attacked.
I
You
ain't nervous.
smack in the middle between two females.
That's a good place to be.
I'm ready for the war, baby.
That's the best place to be.
It's fact.
So what we got going on here for y'all is we cooked up a little debate style. You know, they're gonna ask questions that they want men to answer, and we're gonna ask questions that we want answered as men. So this should get very interesting very quickly. Who wants to go first?
I think ladies should go first.
All right,
So
ladies first.
let's start with Kat.
Oh, me?
Yes.
All right, let me pull up my questions.
Whip them out. Pause.
Pause. Don't put me out there.
Oh Lord.
Okay, men. Ready for this?
Yeah.
E.
When a lady sets up her boundary, why do, I'm not going to say all men, but most men like to push this boundary. And then when they cross it and they face the consequences,
Not the consequences.
they're so quick to apologize and put their head down and bow down, but 2-3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks down the line, doing the same shit again. What is this? Is this a men habit?
I told y'all it was gonna be spicy.
I need to know.
Can you say it again? Say it again.
Why do when ladies put a boundary up, why do men feel a need to test this boundary? See how real it is. See if she's really about the talk.
Like, are we talking, when you say boundary, are we talking about like, when you say, she's saying no to something, or like, what do you mean by?
Like a boundary. Like,
Give us an example.
an example, you meet a friend at work. You work with a lady friend, whatever. You guys are coworkers. You keep it casual. Hey, what's up? But 3 weeks into work or 2 weeks into work, you have this lady's phone number saved on your phone as Karen Hard Eyes.
Pause.
Oh no.
Oh, this hasn't happened to me. FYI.
It happened to you or it didn't
No, it
happen?
hasn't happened to me.
Oh.
Christian knows better.
Right.
Sheesh. You heard that, Christian?
Jesus.
You listening?
So, men, why do men feel like a need to push boundaries?
Don't look at me. I'm in a relationship. I'm faithful.
I've never really pushed boundaries, but I would say like, so my thing with women is like, they will say one thing but mean another thing. Like, I've seen so many women will say like, for example, they'll say no and then you'll stop it like, oh, I didn't really mean it. So I would say the men that's pushing the boundaries, they're probably looking at it as like, you know, a female's trying to play like hard to get and they want to see how much she's going to do to, you know, get the woman, I would say.
Okay. What about you, Dame?
I think if I'm playing games with you, I'm probably just pushing the boundaries to see what I can get away with. You know what I'm saying? Like, how hard is that line that you've drawn in the sand? And
Oh,
like,
so if a guy pushes the boundaries, he's probably not taking you that seriously. Is that what you're saying?
either he's not taking you that seriously, he doesn't respect you, or he doesn't respect whatever y'all got going on, or he's been so conditioned to just casual shit that he doesn't understand the severity of what y'all got going on. And to further put that into context, it's like you said, using your example, right? Like, if he's in a committed relationship and he's mentally aware of what that means without you, it's nuanced almost. Like, you don't have to tell him, like, hey, bruh, going over there and talking to Kathy and saying, yeah, lock me in and put my number in your phone and I'm going to text you, and putting hard eyes next to her joint, like, that's a bad move if you're in a relationship.
Definitely.
But if y'all haven't clearly established boundaries about what's not okay and what is okay, he's probably gonna fall back on that and say, well, you ain't ever told me that shit wasn't cool. He knows right from
Yeah,
wrong,
likes common sense.
but he's gonna
Yeah.
tap into the excuse like, oh, it's not that serious. I ain't even mean nothing by it. Like, try to brush it off because now it's like, oh shit, you've crossed the boundary that this person may and may not. My problem with a boundary with certain people is they think it's automatic. You never communicate or convey that it's not okay, but then when it's
I
not
like
okay,
that.
now you're like, yo, what you doing? And it's like, what you mean? What am I doing? We never had no conversation about what this was. So you
for our
can't be mad.
So for our listeners who are currently now trying to spice things up and lock down in a relationship, would you say it's important to have that conversation in the beginning?
Hell yeah.
Most definitely. But wait, so are we talking about when you said pushing boundaries? Are you talking about you have like, for example, as Dame said it, you have a girlfriend and like you getting another girl number or something like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like for example, say your girlfriend's like, "Hey, I don't like the fact that you give your phone number out to all these females at your job." So she let that boundary be known, right? But yet you're still collecting girls' number. Like you don't need the number. You're just collecting it for your own
Okay. So
personal use.
I changed my response. Then my response would be kind of the same as Dame's. Like I feel like the biggest thing is communication. So if we haven't, like, I was just having a conversation with a girl the other day about this. Like when me and her and I used to talk or whatever, I had friends. Well, we both had friends, like mutual friends, and they would come and dance on me. And instead of her saying she didn't like it, she would just look at me away, give me a stank look, and just walk away. And I thought back to it, like way back when it was happening, and I brought it up to another. Honestly, like I understand what you were saying, you didn't like it, but you never really like communicated and say, yo, you never liked it, so that I would understand where you're coming from to know that what I'm doing you don't like. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like, yeah, I understand the boundaries, and women will say, oh, a guy doesn't understand a woman's boundary or he doesn't respect it. But I think it really boils back down to what Dame said again, is like communication. Like, have you communicated to your man, like, yo, this is something that I don't like, and I see you do it countless times. Like, I want you to
add
stop
to
it.
what he's saying real quick. Sorry. If you communicate a boundary and it gets crossed, it's also still on you to respect yourself enough to leave that person
Facts.
alone. Because that's really where the problem comes in. That's really, like, let's be clear, that's where the problem comes in. Because y'all will say y'all got boundaries, and the nigga will tap that boundary, boy, be on it with his foot, like he tap dancing on that motherfucker. Y'all be sitting there, I don't understand why he's doing this. Like, fool, what you talking about? It's not on him no more. You have respect for yourself, right? Get up and leave.
I love that.
I do have a question for you though regarding what you said. If the situation was flipped around, like you and this girl are talking, you're out together with friends, and she's dancing with your friends, how would you feel?
And I would tell her about it. But see, the thing is, I'm different though. Like, it's been an occasion where she was the same girl again. She was doing something that I did not like, and I brought it to her attention. Like, yo,
Right then and there, like
not right then and there, but I brought it to her like when we was just her and I on the phone talking, and I said, listen, what you was doing, I didn't like that, and it's not ladylike, and that's not something that I see a girl that I'm dating doing. And I don't want it to sound like I was being rude or whatever when I said it, but basically she was like, you know, getting drunk, drinking, and then like going doing crazy stuff on the dance floor. Like, we can't be together or talking and you're on the dance floor like busting splits and all that. That's just not for me. So I explained it to her like, yo, like when you go out, I don't mind you getting drunk and stuff, but just don't go in the middle of the dance floor and go crazy. I'd rather you come stand next to me and I'll be your dancing partner and you go crazy on me than to be in the middle of the dance floor.
Word.
But then it's like you knowing that.
Knowing what?
It's you knowing that in your mind that like you don't like it when she does whatever she's doing. You like when you were dancing with her friends, you were like not thinking about the fact that
Not really, and the reason why I say that is because I've been in a relationship before where like girls don't like random bitches dancing on their nigga, but if it's like they friend, they wouldn't mind their friend dancing on their friend on their nigga because like then the friend already knows what time it is.
I think
Okay.
it's getting technical because I feel like at the root of it, I feel like certain things have to be black and white, especially when it comes to being expressively committed in a relationship. Like these are my no's and they're non-negotiables. That means that no matter how many times you try to push me on them, it's still going to be no. And if you push too much, you're going to end up having to go because what it sounds like
No or
is
go. I
you're-
like that.
Right. You're trying to change me to get what you want, which is manipulation. So now I'm dealing with you on a whole different level and I'm looking at you completely different. right? So like he was saying, if you're in a relationship and you don't draw lines, that person will literally map it out for you. You know what I'm saying? And it'll always be in their favor. Like it's
Right.
never gonna be, oh no, let me not do that to him because I don't want to break his heart. Or, oh no, I ain't finna do that to her because I don't want to hurt her feelings. It's more like, shit, she let me get away with it. I'm gonna slide. I'm gonna roller skate. I'm gonna be over here doing whatever. Carte blanche. Until you say, and you have to do this early, because if you don't do it early, it
too
also becomes problematic and it turns into its own form of conflict
Yeah.
in your relationship. So you got to be clear from early, I think.
Definitely. I like that. I like that.
Okay,
Right?
so I think the next question should be you, Wade.
He said,
He gotta pull out his phone.
God, so I feel like so this has been like a big topic for like a very long time, and I feel like when we spoke about it, it kind of wasn't debated. It was just like everybody just spoke about it, said their piece, but it never really got into a debate. It never got into,
I know where this is going.
it never got into a debate
Excited.
question.
Getting ready.
So
Put me in, coach.
oh, Lord.
my question is, so I'm gonna read what I saw in the post first, and then I'm gonna give you my question. So the post that I found was a recent study suggests that happy couples are less likely to post their partners on social media, and those who post more frequently often feel insecure about their relationship. So, what I want to say is to the women, why do y'all feel as though like you have a man here who's basically, spent X amount of money to, take you to these places and, show you a great time. Whether y'all go to Thailand or whether y'all go to Orlando, end of the day, he spent his money and you're not there alone. Why do y'all feel as though it's so cool for y'all to just post a man's hand or post a face with an emoji face covering it or something like that? Like, why y'all just can't post a man?
You and the emoji went on a date.
Yeah, like, why y'all just can't post a man? Because at the end of the day, like, y'all there together. It's not like you're there by yourself and this man didn't spend money. Not to say you didn't spend your money as well, but I just feel like if that's your man, that's your man. You guys scream, my man, my man, my man, but then when we look, it's an emoji.
Okay, so the scenario that you're explaining is that of somebody who is dating casually. It sounds like, oh, like a man is taking you out and spending his money. Okay, you can court me or whatever. I don't owe you or the public anything for me to post you. If you're my man and we're in an exclusive relationship and we've been together for a long time, I also don't need to broadcast that to the world. Some things, for some people, they prefer to keep them sacred. So the world does not need to have access to certain things that are close to your heart. Sometimes it's okay to keep things close to your heart. You don't need to expose the world to certain things that are pure to you. Then it opens up the door for people's opinions. It opens up the door for people to speculate and talk and whatever. Like, so certain things you can keep close to you and you can portray yourself in a relationship without broadcasting your relationship to the world.
How?
So there are people, I know women, mothers who choose not to show their children at all, showcase them online at all. That doesn't mean you don't know that they're a mother. They're a mother. They live their lifestyle as a mom. You don't have to be, this is my man, my man, my man. Look at me and my man. We at
What is-
dinner.
I have a
Like, you
question.
can portray yourself as a respectable woman in a relationship, and the world can know you're in a relationship without you having to post him every man crush Monday and be like, oh, out on a date with me and Bay, whatever. Like, you don't have to. The world, that's the problem. People feel so entitled because of social media to know what's going on in your life, and that's not their place.
I like what you just said. We don't owe anyone anything.
So to rebuttal on what you're saying, you're right. You don't owe anybody anything. I never said you do. I just feel like the same way, let's say, for example, your friend will buy you, like, all right, so the same way your friend would buy you something and you would say, thanks, as a female, y'all would say, thanks, bitch, or thanks, bae, or whatever, and then y'all mention the person's name.
That's face though.
y'all were mentioning
I'm
this
like,
name.
yeah.
It's like, I don't see why, if your man took you XYZ, you couldn't just say, yo, thanks, babe, or look at my babe got for me today. And then, you put his name. Like, so when I've asked this question before, a lot of people was like, oh, I don't want to write him. I don't want to post my man because,
You don't trust him.
nah, because
trust him.
bitches gonna jump in the DM and vice versa.
That's
don't
a
trust him.
different avenue. So for your question in regards to, like that's goes back into the entitlement. First of all, we have to remember that social media is curated how we curate it. So just because Jules puts, oh, my bitch just got me the cutest bracelet, that doesn't mean that every other time that her homegirl got her something, she put it up there. Maybe that was just the one time she shared that.
So stop right there real quick. Let me say something for you right there. So if that was her first time, what is...
I'm not saying that was her first
No, I'm
time.
saying if that was that, you said she don't have to post every time. So she's posting something on the page saying, thanks my friend. So
And what if she didn't at her?
hold on a second. Wouldn't that mean that whatever the friend got for her was sentimental and it touched her heart, so she wanted to show the world?
Not at all.
No? What does it
Not
mean?
at all. That she's just choosing to want to share.
She's
that
grateful for her present.
Right.
Okay, so she's grateful for her present, right?
Mm-hmm.
From her friend, correct?
Yeah.
So she let Instagram know, correct?
She has a relationship with her friend, though.
That's not what I asked you.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's not the question I asked.
but
The question is-
that's
Matter.
the point. You choose what you want to share.
If it's my
Okay,
first
hold
date
on.
with a guy, I'm not
I
gonna
wanna
post
say
it.
something.
Dude, it's
I want
like-
to say something.
Wait, just a second. It's like, for example, I go to brunch every Sunday. Not every Sunday I'm gonna post a picture of what I'm eating.
Whatever said every Sunday.
Because no, I know, but I'm saying like I am grateful for the food. I'm there, like I'm happy
alright,
to
so
be
of
there.
course, food is different compared to like...
No, but it's like you're sharing moments. Like I pick and choose what moments I share.
For what reason?
You know?
Though? You just say at random,
For
I
what-
want to post that?
Because it's just like I don't want to whip my phone out and have a story on every single time I'm doing something.
Correct. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you may not, the two of you guys may not, but I was like, for me, I would say that if I'm gonna post something, like if I go out of town or something and I'm posting it because it means something to me, whether it's something that somebody did for me and it touched a part of my heart, and I want to say like, yo, thanks, and this is what somebody done for me. Because at the end of the day, like, it kind of shows that I'm happy and the gratitude that I have for this person doing what they did for me. So I would say, like, if people's posting stuff, especially the way that you guys are saying it, as you're not posting everything, but you're posting certain things, I would think that you're posting these things because it means something more to you than everything else that's been given to you at that time.
I think it comes down to how each person uses their social media, because like the way I use it and the way Britt uses it and the way Kat uses it is completely different. Like, I like, for example, my close friends has literally like 20 people in there. It's only my friends from Brazil, some from Paris, and like people I know here, like the ones I want, like that are allowed to see if I'm like in bed and I put a picture of me like I want to die today. That's it. So like the way I use it is so different from the way other people use it, and I think it comes down to that, and especially like, for example, my Instagram was closed forever, so I only have like, let's say 250 followers, only people I know. If someone I don't know follows me, I block them immediately. So in my page, I feel in a certain way like safe to post my girl, but I'm not gonna put her on the spot all the time. I'm gonna like pick and choose moments that are like very special, or like a picture that I really want to put out there because it's just so good. But I'm not like, we're together every day. I'm not gonna keep posting and like adding her every time, because then people like one of my friends found out that I was with her from snooping on people that I was following, and I was talking about my life and I said her name and she was like, "Oh, is that your new girl?" And we were on FaceTime and like suddenly she was on her page. I'm like, how did that happen? And it's not that I don't want her to know. It's just that like I didn't even tell you. And because of social media, mind you, I never tagged her on everything. Because of social media, she was able to like put pieces together and find out that I was dating someone, which is crazy. And I also feel like for security, like all of that, I don't know. That's how I feel.
Okay, so to piggyback off of you, y'all know I'm in a relationship. My first couple, I want to say my first 2 months of being in a relationship, when me and Christian first met, he tried to court me for a while. Then I finally accepted his first date. We were dating for like about 2-3 months before he officially asked me to be his girlfriend. But during that time, I did not post him at all during social media. He would take me to like Rocco's Tacos or something, and yeah, I would post my taco, but I wouldn't post him. You know what I mean? It was
Post
nothing
that
against.
taco.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was nothing against Christian. It was just like, I don't know where this is going, so why am I gonna post you? But then once me and Christian became official, I started posting him here and there, and people were like, "Oh, okay, she has a man. This is him." But it's not something. I'm not trying to like. How do I say? I don't want to like post him every day because I don't want to oversaturate the situation. Like, I'm in my peace and my happiness, and I post snippets of it, but I don't post the whole story, if that makes sense. But in the beginning, yeah, there was no need for me to post Christian. We were still dating. I didn't know where this was going. So most girls that go on these casual dates and guys that want to drop thousands of dollars on their first date, which is fine, you know, you do you. The girl has all her right whether she wants to post you or not. And if she doesn't, you can't get mad at it.
I think we're talking in regards to
A relationship.
a relationship.
Oh,
correct?
so you
But-
guys in a relationship.
Correct.
So, but to speak to what you were saying in regards to like if a friend gets you something, you want to share it, and like you feel like if it's sentimental, you feel like you should share it on Instagram. To me, I feel like if someone is doing that, they're seeking outside validation from whatever it may
Say it
look
again.
like.
Who's seeking outside validation?
The person who feels the need to share this story with the world to show like, oh, look at how sentimental this is to me, that so and so got that for me. Why does the world need to be included on that for it to mean something to you? So
That's a very biased interpretation of what happened,
how?
because if that's the only narrative that you feed to yourself, it's a justifiable way for you to use it to not do that.
But
To
that's
not
how he
post it.
explained it.
No, I didn't. I was just saying
not how you-
that's not how I said it.
How did you explain it then?
I was just saying like if somebody
The
like
question he asked was flat out, why is it that you would post his arm when he spent thousands of dollars on you?
Exactly.
and I
him
said
to go
that
on
that's
that
like
trip?
casually dating.
Can we take out the money of the situation? Like,
Well,
let's
'cause
say
it
he
presents
did
the
it.
value of what he did. It's an investment. Money.
But I'm
is
saying
earned.
that
whether he
that's-
scammed for it or he worked for it,
Regardless.
it's still his money.
He was speaking as if it was a casually dating situation.
Yeah.
If you're
Not
casually
casually
dating,
That's
if
not
somebody's just
No.
taking me out and
No, no,
breaking
no.
bread on me, I don't need to be posting. it.
I'm talking about
If we are,
a relationship.
if we're in a relationship, and let's even say like it hasn't even,
Exclusive?
it hasn't even hit a year, but we're exclusively dating. That's my man. I still don't need to show. I can act, and the world can perceive and know that I have a man without me sharing who this man is.
Yeah.
If the people in my life know who he is, that's what
All that
matters to me.
matters, right.
Like I don't owe social media. I don't owe 1,400 people who follow me this explanation of who I'm with. So my best friend knows him, my mother knows him, his friends know me, he knows my circle. Like why do I have to at him?
So, I'm gonna say one thing. I know Dane want to say something too. Back to what Julia was saying, right? And I think you kind of said what I was saying in the whole not piece. Like, yes, you with your girl every day, so you're not gonna post your girl every single day, but like certain things that you and your girl do, you post, and that's basically what I'm saying. Like, I'm not telling you that you have to post your significant other every single day. No, of course not. Like, some of you guys live with your significant others, some of you guys are with them 24/7. But what I'm saying is, the same way if like a friend buys you something and it means so much to you, you post it, why you can't do the same for your significant other? You said you do it, so like I'm not really talking to you now. It's really for these two because they kind of not seeing what I guess what we're seeing.
I think that the talking point has gone in a circle.
I also want to add a question, and you guys can both answer it. So, is it about the money? Let's say you planned a really cute, like, picnic day
Nothing
on
to do
the
with the money.
beach.
Correct.
Like, is it about the money?
No.
Is
Can I
the
answer the
posting
question?
a reward?
I really want to say something because I've been sitting here quietly. I think a lot of the misnomers that are happening is that women don't know how to speak to men in men's language. Because if you identify what are the character traits that are important to a man to feel validated by a woman, it has absolutely nothing to do with the intention that you place or the value that you place on what he's done, and more so on the acknowledgement and the appreciation.
So you have to acknowledge it through social media.
You don't. You don't. You don't. Cute point, but no. So here's where you get misconstrued at. A man wants to know that what he's done is appreciated. And if there is no acknowledgement of appreciation, there's a certain point where he'll stop, because never expressing to him that what he's doing is appreciated gets turned into a as he should. And then he'll be like, well, fuck you, because I don't have to.
So where does social media come into that though?
The point I'm trying to make is the language between social media and acknowledging a man as your partner is very, very like up and down and inconsistent.
But I'm saying that you
conversation
can
is centered
still
around-
acknowledge your man and you can still act as though you're in a relationship and express your relationship. You just don't have to share.
I'm
your
not for
partner.
you literally having a screen that's live and your man is in every post. If that's what you want to do, also it is your prerogative.
Facts.
So no one here can tell you
How
what
to
not
move.
to do. And entitlement only works if you feel like you're obligated. It's like everything else. If I feel obliged to these people because I've created a certain way that I've dealt with these people, they're going to be looking for it because they feel obligated to it, because you created that narrative. So the responsibility rests solely on your shoulders. You want to show your man off? Fine. You don't? Fine. Just understand that the way this is how it comes back full circle. The way a man's mind works is that if he feels that he is not getting any acknowledgement from you, and he is a man through and through, not half of a man, not some weirdo that you met and you can control and manipulate, a man, right? He's going to at some point be like, hold the fuck up. What's up with these arm posts, bro? Tag me. And if you don't, you're going to have problems, because then what you're doing is you're saying, this is as far as I'm willing to show the world that you're in my life. And only in these moments does it matter. There's no acknowledgement of any of the effort. I'm changing the conversation because I don't think that social media is the root of what he's saying. Acknowledgement is what he's talking about. The problem comes in where you're not feeling like the effort you're putting in is being acknowledged, whether it's on social media or off social media, because it's under the context of somehow or another, this is what's owed to me.
So can I ask you, how do you acknowledge it off social media?
Tell your man, thank you.
Well, yeah, but
I appreciate you. Thank you for doing
So
that.
who's saying that that's not happening? Because
If
the
you-
question is about social media.
Right, but if you take the context of what I said, you got lost.
No,
What I said was,
didn't.
if
You're-
if you and this person are together and you're in a relationship and you only post his arm, or you only post his feet, or you post a pic of him quick, and
That's a
he's
certain
asleep.
type of female though.
Those are city girls.
Right.
No.
That's a, you're
You can't really say city girls, though.
You're specifying
You
a
can't
certain
really-
type of
Didn't-
female.
Okay, hold on. But didn't y'all sit here before and have the same conversation, and I've seen y'all comment on the podcast itself and say y'all would never post a man? Didn't we sit in my house and have an open debate
and I
about y'all
stand
saying
by
y'all
that.
would never post?
I still
So then
won't
if
post
you
a man
won't-
until he's my husband.
Okay. So then the conversation is null and void, because we're having two different conversations. You're talking about marrying someone. He's talking about looking for acknowledgement for effort. I guess I'm out
I
of it.
thought you were talking about that.
I'm not. That's not what I was talking about at all. I was discussing the idea that if you don't acknowledge the person, whether it's on social media or off social media, you're going to run into problems.
No, that's absolutely right. I just also, back to what I had said the first time, I think it also depends on the couple, because there are men that also don't want to broadcast their life, or like give people that like opening into their lives, and that won't post their women either. And I personally, me, Julia, I like the privacy, you know?
Right.
Like more than the showing off. Even though every time like I look at my girl's pictures, I just want to show her off, but I don't, because there is something special about the privacy, and everyone in my life knows that she's there and I'll post her, so like there is no issue about it. But I think it depends on the couple too. Like if your man wants to be posted and tagged, then that is a conversation that should be had, you know?
Also, I'm not arguing for no like 24/7 post. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
know.
just saying that if you are in a relationship with somebody and you average 10, 12 months of no one on Instagram knowing you have a man, your man notices that.
Yeah.
Cuz he's not like, when women talk sometimes, you talk as if you're with someone and they're robbed of their free will. Like they can't exercise their own thought patterns and what they want. Like their modality for how life is supposed to go becomes second or third or fourth place within the context of a relationship. So then you get to narrate how the relationship goes. That ain't gonna work. And you know it ain't. So when you say, well, I'll post my man when I'm married to him, that's great. Fantastic. Just remember that your man that you want to marry is going to have qualities where he's going to be asking questions about that social media page at some
Nobody's
point.
saying that I'm not carrying myself like I'm not in a relationship.
No. Don't do that, because you're trying to pull the bottom out of the argument by saying
I'm not.
I'm basing it in you
Everybody-
misbehaving
like
on
she
social
said-
media. Hold on, let me finish. I'm not basing my argument in you misbehaving on social media, love. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that at a certain point, whether you're going to marry him or not, which is also not up to you because he's the one that has to propose. If you rob him of the ability to feel acknowledged by you publicly, whether on a social media platform or not, I'm simply expanding the conversation. He is going to ask questions. There's no way. I wouldn't go for that shit. If my girl had a social media page and I've been in a relationship for 3 years and you're like, when are we getting married? And I'm like, yeah, about that. We need to have a conversation. If he's a man and he has any kind of sense of like, hey, my worth is being questioned. Why am I questioning this? Because I feel like you're hiding me to a certain degree. And it may be based in trauma. Me and him both have suffered that. I've been with a woman who didn't post me fucking anywhere for no amount of time. Never met her parents. And I told myself, one of my rules based on that trauma response is you won't fucking hide me. And if you hide me, me and you are done. And if I feel like I'm being hidden, I'm done. Because I'm not going back down that road. That's me not betraying my boundary. You follow? Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is, even if you're going to marry this guy, right? At a certain point in that trail to marriage, you're going to have to post him. So saying I'm not posting him till I'm married to him, ain't going to work. You know it ain't. Because at a certain point, he's going to be like, yo, what's up?
I think it depends. Like, I think she'll find a man that doesn't like care about it.
Wait, hold
That's just
on.
crazy.
Where are you gonna find a man? Where are you gonna find a man at? Where?
Guys,
That's not trauma. That's bullshit.
Guys, we gotta move on from this question.
I wasn't gonna say what I wanted to say.
Yo,
I'm not.
like,
Move on.
yeah, please, because that kind of
No, I'm good.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh.
That doesn't make any sense.
that doesn't. Well, go ahead.
That makes no sense, bro.
Are we moving on?
It's getting so spicy.
That's what I thought.
Getting spicy.
Okay. So, my question was, I don't know if you guys are privy to hot topics and pop culture, but Keke Palmer, is everybody
Love that woman.
okay? So,
Oh boy.
Keke Palmer, as we're all, most of us aware, gentlemen, you know that she just had a baby.
And she looks fantastic.
She looks bomb.
But go ahead, continue.
So I just wanted to know, would you guys feel a way if your girl, one, wore what she wore to the Usher concert with like her little booty cheeks showing and whatnot? And two, would you feel a way if your girl danced on Usher?
On Usher?
On,
Specifically?
on Usher, like on the celebrity. Like obviously if it's any random man
I see
Yes.
Damien's like screws turning.
I'm
What
just looking at the time.
what are
Look at.
what are the thoughts? Because didn't she get broken up with? You broke up with her?
No, I don't think he broke up. He just deleted his social media.
No, they're broken
They're
up.
broken up.
They broke up.
They broke up. He like publicly like he made a tweet like you're a mom, and
Correct.
and then she responded back like I'm that bitch basically. So
Wait, if it's for the men.
yeah, it's for the men. Sorry guys, I'm over here defending my girl.
All right, so first of all, my girl dancing on any man is dead. That, you know what I mean? So that'll be a dead.
Usher included.
My man. I don't give a
You know
damn.
she's not like
It's
sleeping with
Usher. She can't.
I
Like,
don't
what are
give
the
a rat's
odds?
ass. I don't give a rat's ass who it is. I'm
So
sorry.
if Shensia,
I'm gonna take that.
if Shensia try and come wind up on
fight
you.
the consequences of my wife. Like,
Oh,
but
okay,
I'm just being
okay,
honest.
okay.
But and then first of all, and then the first thing you said
I
about
hate
her,
this man.
her outfit, with her outfit. All right. The outfit thing for me, if I'm there, it's okay. If I'm there,
If you were there and she was wearing that outfit,
it's
chilling.
okay. Yeah, it's okay. If I'm not there,
She's like with her group of girls.
I'm gonna be honest. So it's happened to me before, and I ain't say nothing about it. The reason why I would say that though, I feel like it boils down to like you just knowing your girl or your wife or whatever it is. Like once you know that that's yours and she's not going nowhere, like
outfit wise,
yeah, once you know that the girl is yours and she's not going nowhere, then like I wouldn't mind her wearing that with her friends. Knowing
so that mentality isn't the same. Like once you know that she's yours, she's not going anywhere. So her dancing on Usher.
no, but I just feel like I'm a person where I don't like embarrassment. So I feel like that right there will kind of be embarrassing to me.
I get that.
So like, especially when everybody knows that that's my girl, and then that happens, and then the host like that shit's just embarrassing to me. So I wouldn't really put up with that. Just being me, being honest. But as far as the outfit's concerned, the outfit's not really a bad thing for me. I wouldn't really like, I'm Caribbean, so like, if you think that's bad, you go to the islands. It's fucking 10 times worse. So that's how I look at it. Now I'm just me, Nathan English. Like don't look at how I say it and go the same way. But for me, I look at it like that. Like I used to be like crazy about it, like, no, I don't wear that. But then I went out of country one time and I was like, damn, like y'all men and y'all girls wear that. But then I kind of understood it, like, yo, that's the culture we live in. Like that's the time and the age that's approaching us. Like your girl got a bad body, let your girl, go out and not show her body, but show her legs or whatever the case is. So I wouldn't be mad with it. But the dancing part, I'm not with that.
Does the type of dancing matter?
I'm not with any kind of dancing.
Are you asking me? Oh,
I don't know.
Y'all know I ain't cool with none of that shit.
Even the outfit.
The outfit was trash. You wore a bathing suit with a net cover up that you're supposed to wear on vacation. Y'all know that shit was trash. Y'all know that whole shit was trash. Her behavior was trash. Him going on social media was trash.
Yeah, that was
I
definitely
feel like
trash.
at the end of the day, if you don't have no respect for your men, then that's what you do. And that's really what she did. She just flexed the fact that she didn't respect that nigga. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I'm going to dirty your face some more. Like, here. Because I make more money than you.
Yeah, that comment right there kind of like took it to the next level as far as she like
Right.
knew what she was doing. And
She knew
kinda did
exactly
it.
what she was doing.
Yeah, facts.
So it's only right that they're not together. But he's right. You are a mom, though. What type of example are you setting? And we live in a culture where you do whatever you want, carte blanche, and nothing can be said. Anytime anyone brings up any kind of question that starts to sound like anything relating to you having to have self-control about what you wear and how you carry yourself and how you represent yourself, which is a form of regurgitation back out to the world for everyone to see, it's like, oh,
I
you're
get
misogynistic and you're controlling.
But the you're a mom though, so if she was his wife, he were to say you're a wife though, I would get that. Because for a long time.
But she laid down with him and had a baby, though.
I
That's the
understand
biggest
that.
thing.
But
So-
for a long time. But that doesn't.
So
okay.
that negates one and makes it more greater?
No, because when you're saying you're a mom, like it's identifying the children or whatever. Because once upon a time, I used to think of
Yes,
that about
you're a
Kim
mom, though.
Kardashian.
You have
I'm
a
a mom, so I want to
responsibility.
speak about it. I just want to speak about it really quick.
That's fine.
So-
That's fine.
Okay, so
Trigger.
I used to think the same thing, like Kim Kardashian, your mom, like wow. And I heard her say one time, like I'm a
use
mom,
her.
I'm not dead. And then
Yeah.
like I was like, yeah, but you're a mom. And then I became a mom, and I'm like, hold on, two picnic, no stop, no show. Like I can still. Like I feel like when they say you're a mom, though, it means like you're supposed to like cover up and dress a certain way.
You don't lose
and
your sex appeal as a mother.
Like
Nah,
you
I
can
don't think
still
it's like
like
that.
What is glorified, or what are you accomplishing by being that publicly disrespectful?
I'm
to
not
your
saying that
partner,
what
your
she wore
relationship,
was right.
No, but I think
and
so
to the fact that
I'm saying you could still be like
I get what you're
no
saying.
one is shaming you for having
being a mom.
children.
Facts. Nobody's doing that.
no
what
one
it
is saying that you can't wear.
that's exactly the
whatever you
context
did.
that he said it in. Was
No, he
shameful.
said it. No. He
Man
said it
said you're
as
a
far as
mom,
like
though.
you was a
Like,
newly
bruh,
mom. You just
Yeah.
became a
You're
mother.
behaving like a fucking thought.
Yeah, facts.
That's mom shaming.
No, but
when
he
you
just,
use the
but she
fact.
just became a mother.
Hold on a second. Time out.
You're comparing
Shaming language is
becoming a
not-
mother and
shaming
being a
language
mother for
doesn't even
years.
apply.
Yo, one at a time.
Shaming language doesn't even apply. The context in which he said it was, "You're a mom, though," meaning behave a little bit better than this.
Because
Overall.
you're a mom, which is putting
She's a newly mother.
which is
So you
shaming
don't have
her.
any responsibility to represent yourself as a responsible adult out in the world.
Look,
Yeah, but like
I
what
think-
Britt said, I would have rather him say, "Hey, you're a wife. You're
Guess
in a
what?
relationship,"
Or
instead
not
of
say
saying you're in
anything
a
at
mom.
all.
Because at the end of the day, I'm still raising my kids, and my kids are great kids. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with
It
it.
has everything to do with your level of self-respect for you, though.
No, self-respect and
no.
being a mother is on a different
Really?
scale. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Enlighten me as to how that works.
Yeah, for real.
What do you mean?
So your self-respect and how you conduct yourself is not a actual visual representation of how you see yourself and how others see
I
you.
just I agree in a sense because look, I don't think if it was my woman dancing on someone else, I wouldn't like that. Okay. The dress though, I have absolutely nothing to say about it. I don't think it was even slightly bad. I don't think it says anything about her self-worth or her worth as a mother or anything like that. But look, I don't want to cut off the conversation, but we did already have a whole episode talking
Yeah, go.
about this.
Go watch the episode. I give y'all that full tilt for 10 minutes.
Yeah, because Dame got fired up on that episode, and he's doing it again.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
You good though?
I'm good.
I think. Yeah, I mean,
I just had a
clearly we
question.
just
I just had a
have, like,
question. That's
different.
all.
but
I just
like,
have a question.
so the thing is with the outfit, right? For me, I'll just say this and I'll be done with the conversation. But the thing with the outfit for me is, yes, she just had a baby, but her body looked amazing. And she's showing off her body, not for the public, but for herself. She feels confident in her skin. She's proud of it. Cool. Like she said in many interviews, my baby gave me an ass. Great. That was fine. Like you said, I agree. The outfit was no issue. Now, dancing on Usher, even though, yes, again, it's Usher. Like, oh my God, if Drake came up to me, tempting. But at home, I have a man. And I have to also respect that boundary that I wouldn't like it if she and Tia came up to my man and started twerking on my man. You know what I mean?
I would die. I would kill myself.
Yeah, so I have to put myself in those shoes. But like, for example, say my man had like a super chiseled 6-pack, whatever, and he wants to, I don't know, go shirtless to the beach or whatever. I don't know. But if I'm a mom, if I'm a freshly mom and I have a body like Keke Palmer and I decided to wear a 2-piece, it shouldn't be a problem. That's the way I see it.
I think we're looking like, I think the biggest thing, yeah, he said she's a mom, but I don't think he was saying it as far as like, you're a mom. Like, I think he
Moms
was saying,
can't turn up,
No,
though?
I think he was saying as far as like, you're a new mom, like, there's certain things that you can and cannot do.
But who writes that book?
And that's the thing. Like
It's not a who writes the book, but it's just like,
it is.
that's
though.
like,
Why can she do something and I can't?
who's she?
Me, because I'm not a
I'm not a
mom.
mom. I am a mom.
Because you didn't take on the responsibility of having
My
children.
responsibilities are taken care of.
No,
From the
Exactly.
perception of if you justify your behavior, sure. So you're justifying saying, well, I want to wear that and you shouldn't judge me for it. Cool, no problem. So you won't be.
Why?
The rest of the world isn't going to be as kind about it. Because if you were to go on social media and read the comments, it wasn't just men in there saying,
Yeah, women
yo,
too.
what you did and how you conducted yourself and how you're handling the situation is
Again, with the
terrible
whole
and it's
Usher
in poor taste.
situation was bad taste.
I'm not going to pick it apart. The whole thing was wrong. He was wrong for tweeting that. He should have had a conversation with her. And if you feel a way about what your woman is wearing, handle that shit in the house. Don't go on socials.
X.
But we do live in a world where everybody runs to socials because they get validation from it. So whether you're posting a quote because you don't want to directly address the person, or you're directly saying it, it's because you know people are gonna sing the same song and dance. I'm not saying that you need to wear a hijab and be covered up 24/7, but to a certain extent, have a little bit more class about how you carry yourself. You don't have to follow what every other bitch is doing. You don't.
Right. I agree.
That she was following. What if that was just her taste?
Yo, you.
We gotta move.
Beating this shit in the head.
Dame. Ask your question.
I don't have any.
You don't have any?
I could have.
No, it's your question. It's oh,
Yeah, I could have sworn.
He said he had questions lined up.
Nah, I changed my mind.
nah, come on,
why.
I
okay.
ain't finna ask no questions. Bro.
Ask your question, bro.
I'm not. My question gonna cause problems. I'm gonna just
Cause problems, bro.
All the
Ready.
questions are already causing
Yeah.
problems.
We'll save the spicy for the end. Jewel,
No. They ain't go
Go
ahead.
back. Come back to me.
Then go ahead, bro.
Come back to me.
It's boy, girl, bro. You gotta go.
Come back to me, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
Let them go. Come back to me.
Oh my god.
It's not wild. I just think that it's better for me to just take it.
Nah, ask your question, bro.
Okay, fine. I'm asking.
bruh.
Do you ever look in the mirror and blame yourself for your relationships failing?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, for sure. For sure. There other relationships in my past, I was super toxic. I would do the drive-bys. Y'all ladies ever do the drive-bys?
What
Late
is
at
a
night?
drive-by?
I've accompanied drive-bys.
Oh, so, but you know what I'm talking about.
You were driving by his house at night to see if he was there?
Yup, that was me.
Girl.
That was me.
We did an episode on that too.
And you know what's funny? He saw me. And he saw me. He was just like, he saw me drive by. And the worst part,
Yo, wait,
his neighborhood was one way in. You want me to do a drive by your house? I'll get through that gate. Don't worry.
Oh my god!
No, but yeah,
Not through the gate.
I have had very, very toxic, how do you say, tendencies, to the point where I'd be checking your phone at night. I did all of that. I learned how to trust my partner. My relationship today, I'm a lot more happier. I'm a lot more content, and it's very open, which I love. But yeah, past relationships, I can say some were my fault, some were his. But yeah, I grew from them though. Definitely grew from them.
You learn from them.
Yeah. What about you?
It's not for me. It's for the women.
Oh.
In my case, I like that viewpoint. I can hold myself accountable because it's not often I have.
Not often she use that word.
Can't even say that.
That's
motherfucker.
crazy.
Like, what?
I almost choked on it.
I gotta go brush my teeth.
Yo.
I can hold myself accountable for the type of men that I chose to deal with at a certain point or throughout my life in general. So I know that like when I look back on the trajectory of my relationships and like my heartbreaks and my traumas, it's because I essentially was putting myself in those situations and having the red flag lick me in the face over and over again, and then still choosing to like, oh, I'm a fuck with this nigga regardless. So
It's not that big of a deal. Yeah.
I could change him.
I've done that. I have done that.
I
The
can
I can
change
change him one.
Yeah.
Not that I can change him.
I could change
Oh.
him. I used to be queen of I could change him.
But what's important to know though is that you grow and you learn from these. Because now as an adult, I look back at like 16-year-old cat and I'm like, damn girl, you're nuts. You know what I mean? But I take all those fails and I have a super healthy relationship today, which I'm really proud of.
Go girl.
Julia.
Yes, but
Wait.
no, wait. You don't even know what I'm about to say.
I like what Julia says, but
Like, okay, so before I had an actual relationship, 100% my fault why nothing ever worked for very different reasons. But I would say the main one was my lack of self-confidence and self-love and all of that. So that part of my life, 100%. With my ex, I can recognize things that for example, I can change her. I was one of those. But really, it wasn't my fault at all. I had a fault in there because I had all the signs and I just didn't want to recognize them or take action on them. But I mean, I don't think any of us were like faulty. We each had our issues, but I think I am like, I can look myself in the mirror and know exactly what I'm doing wrong. I might not take action or change immediately, but I am very able to recognize what I'm doing wrong. And I'm also very able to not do anything about it, which is a problem. But let's say, like,
But you know what?
I could look myself in the mirror and acknowledge it.
Sorry to cut you off, but you know what I have realized too, that it's different for every girl, but your relationships are kind of like a mirror or affected of your upbringing. So my dad was a kind of a sneaky man. So all that sneakiness, like I thought my ex-boyfriends were doing, I projected my mother's like insecurity on my relationship. But yeah, like your upbringing has a big influence on how you handle relationships.
My dad cheated on my mom, and like I used to check phones. I used to, like, we lived together, so there was minimal checking to do, but phones, Jesus Christ. I was the owner of that phone. And it did me like, I had a reason, okay, but it did me no good. And now I would never do that again, because I just like learned over and over and over again that, one, it doesn't matter what you do, the person is going to do what they want to do regardless.
Yeah.
So if they were to cheat on me, they would cheat on me if I'm checking their phone or not. If I'm like with them all the time, or like, they're going to do what they have to do. Doesn't matter. And so, yeah, like for me, my parents' story just like really bled into my own relationships. But I think that now I am way better. Like, I have learned to trust and to know that, like, for example, if someone cheats on me, that might not be on me. Like, I trusted you, I did everything I had to do, I played my part, you fumbled the bag, now like we're done, and that's cool. Like, thank you, next, you know, like, move on. And it's just like, it's so peaceful when you can trust. And that's just something that you, like, I had to learn for years to get to the point where I am today, where I have no doubts in my mind, which is great. But
you know, it's funny.
Are you happy with the question, with the answers?
No, I am.
You know,
what y'all be looking at me for?
Sidetrack from besides the debate show. But y'all want to hear something funny? Like, I still have those like toxic tendencies where I want to check.
Keep your relationship spicy.
I want to check Christian's phone. No, you know what?
Don't do that shit.
No, I don't do that. But you know what happens? Recently, actually, I had a dream that Christian was fadoodling with another chick. A dream. I woke up and I'm like, don't touch me. I don't want you to touch me. And he was like, what the heck? What did I do? And I'm like, in my dream he cheated on me. He was like, bruh.
Yo, that happened to us this week. We both had a cheating dream the same night, and we woke up like
What?
in the middle of the night, like
Damn.
That's crazy.
What the?
That's crazy.
it was crazy. It's so funny, but yeah, that happens sometimes.
It
No
happens.
trauma.
Yeah.
But okay, are we ready to
Last
move on?
round. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, so I'm gonna. Okay, I think I have my question. Okay, men. Would you be okay with your? I have to phrase this well so you guys don't attack me.
Choose words wisely.
Would you be okay with your women being super successful and that is impacting her role as a woman? So for example, she makes more money than you. She is super busy at work all the time, like meetings, conferences, parties, blah, blah. She has no time to take care of the house or like the kids, you know, like there's nannies and stuff. Like she is just a super successful woman. She is still a good wife, a good mother, whatever. Like she still makes time for the couple and all of that, but she is at that level of, let's say, a freaking
Success.
CEO,
She's
you know,
a
and
boss bitch.
she's a boss and she's busy and she makes more money than you.
So, what is your question?
Does it affect your ego?
How would you feel about that?
My girl making more money than me?
Yeah, and being like
Super busy.
super busy, like having her own life that is so packed that it impacts her presence at home.
I think the biggest thing that you got to think about is you make time for what you want to make time for, no matter how busy you are. So with that being said, like, I mean, I don't really mind her making more money than me. I mean, it wouldn't really. It would just make me. It would just motivate me to go out and make more. One, and then the second thing, yeah, like you make time for what you want to make time for. So you could be a CEO and you could be the richest person alive, but at the end of the day, like you make time for what you make time for. So if you can't make time for me, then yeah, we may have to go our separate ways. But as far as like you making more money than me, it wouldn't really faze me. At the end of the day, as long as I know that I could take care, like if we separate, I could take care of myself, pay my bills and my house and all that, and I'm good, set straight, kids and all that. It doesn't really matter to me.
I mean, I'm with him, kind of like in the sense of just it would really depend on how I'm being treated. Like you could make more money than me, you could be as successful as you want. That doesn't justify ill treatment.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
No, she's
That would
not
be-
treating you.
No, I'm not saying.
Ew. No, I know.
I'm not insinuating that.
I just want to make sure, like, she is still a great one, but she just can't, like, perform as a woman as someone that's less successful could.
Like she's not home Monday through Friday. type
yeah,
shit.
like she's not home, she's not cooking, she's not cleaning, she's not like doing your laundry, like all that shit.
So you're
Because
basically
she's
saying
busy.
that the concepts under which men would deem her a good woman to a certain extent are not there. Okay, I think to a certain degree, it would be problematic unless you guys have come up with some sort of strategy for how you're going to deal with those things being passed off on other people.
Right. I was gonna say, are they getting done at all? Like, because you said they had nannies.
Oh,
Is there help?
like yeah, it's getting done. It's just not her.
But I think your
doing
relationship itself, with the nuclei of
Yeah, I think the relationship itself
being
is
two people who are
correct.
in a relationship would start to incur problems, because if at its core you're always, you know, my relationship is suffering because you're gone and I'm there and I'm trying to find an olive branch to reach out, and you're so busy that your focus is elsewhere every time. At a certain point, it
after
can
a while,
wear
it's gonna
on
get-
the relationship and become problematic.
Yeah, I think after a while with that, it'll be like you're gonna go seeking elsewhere for the thing that you want in your woman.
What if like she was super intentional, or like you guys within your relationship were super intentional? So, when she does come home, like that's a boundary. Like
Phones
let's
are
say,
off.
yeah, phones are off, and then
Yeah.
like let's say Wednesday night is wine night, and like that's like something that we dedicate to ourselves. But then everything else is like obviously like when she's when she's on, she's on.
I mean,
I'm not against that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
facts.
Like, you're gonna do what you need to do because
you gotta make that
I'm in
money.
the same boat. If I'm busy, and there's times where I'm busy, you know, and I go during the week, my girl has breaks at work and I can't talk to her because I'm working, and the time at home is the time at home. So like we have a rule, like we go on date night, no phones at the table, things like that. If you're being intentional and making a concerted effort, I don't see it being a problem. I think the problem that would present itself would be how you navigate it consistently over time, because it's not the people, it's time.
Right.
You know, you become inconsistent over time. It's like it wears at you and wears you down, and things become missed, and you
That's
end
what-
up. You know,
That's why it brings
and-
back to like, yo, you make time for what you make time for. Like, yeah, everybody could be busy. You know, like Dame said, like, yo, he could be on break and he can't talk to his wife or vice versa. I just feel like certain stuff just has to be put in place so that we know, like, yo, when this happens, this is our time.
right.
Like, coming home, no phones. That's number one. Like, that's perfect. Come home and we ain't talking about work. It's, babe, how you doing? How you feeling? Like, what's going
How's
on?
your day?
How was your day? You feel me? Like, vice versa. We go on dates, like he said, yo, put the phones away. Why are we on our phones? We're supposed to be, this is our time.
Right.
Like, I call Dame, yo, I'm gonna call you back. Are you straight? You dead? No? All right, cool. I'm gonna call you back with babe. Like, I think certain stuff has to be put in place to like where it's like, okay, cool. When it's our time, it's really our time. And then when it's time for me to go to work and do what I need to do, that's where I'm at.
I think if you say it, if you look at it the other way, is when it becomes problematic, because people tend to change when they start to make money, and if it becomes super successful and your partner isn't, I think that the natural role that we play is as men is that a man is supposed to go out, provide, protect, be kind of like the leader of the household, and in a way, if that is being handicapped, it's going to cause resentment and problems. I think because she'll look at you like, why don't you have your own? Because I don't know any woman that's okay with a man spending her money. And I think that would present a problem. I think at a certain point she'd be like, wait, you did what? You know what I'm saying? You got to consult me. I think that would start to eat at her. Being the one that's at the spearhead means that you're probably shouldering more of the responsibility
saying.
financially. So even though you're financially well off, that doesn't mean that you're going to want to take up your money and spend it every month. You understand what I'm saying? And then he's spending your money as well. So it's like, where do you draw the line at there? Like, are you going to put your husband on a on payroll, or are you going to
On a budget, right?
You're going to put your husband on an allowance? Like, you know, how does that sound? Like,
Yeah.
you know, at a certain point, and like we've all discussed this before, the male ego is fragile. At a certain point, he's probably going to be like, yo, this ain't it. I can't do this.
Yeah.
It becomes problematic for him. Looking through my own lens and speaking for myself, I wouldn't be able to do that shit. I wouldn't be able to just sit there and be like, yeah, my wife makes more money than me, and just be cozy about it. Like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Because even if I feel like it starts to get close, I'm going to go find another hustle.
Do you think it's a power thing?
Most definitely.
No, it's not. Not for me. It's not about power, because at the end of the day, I don't have any leverage over you. If you want to leave, you're going to.
Yeah,
Whether
but
we're married or whatever, or how much time.
like if you
No, not like power like that. I just feel like, you know, like it's you're like the man of the house. So it's
Yeah.
like if a woman,
The stigma.
yeah, like if a woman is making more, like in a man's mindset, like yo, she's like, she'll be playing she'll play the role of being the man of the house because she makes the most.
yeah,
So wait,
because
let me
she's
clarify
more
this.
she's more powerful in that moment, not in the sense that she's controlling her man's life, but in the sense that she is controlling
That's
the
expensive.
life.
Finances.
She is taking care of the finances. She is taking care of telling the maid what to do. She is taking the care of the kid's schedule. And I mean, a dad would probably never do that, take care of the kid's schedule, but especially if he's a successful CEO. But that's the power I'm talking about. Like, she is wearing the pants in the relationship in a sense, right? So that was the thing. Like, would you be okay with that? Because I know for men, that's really hard. since they are usually the ones that are supposed to have that role.
I think we're in a weird we're in a weird space
Yeah.
in time in our society, right? So you have men who are in financial positions that they don't make the money that they should make. And we have these concepts that we've come up with where we say this is what a man has to make for a woman to be okay. And then this is what you have to make as a two household and figure out how to juggle the power structure within your relationship if you both make money. Like, for instance, my partner makes money, great money. I make good money. And there's months where she makes more than me. But that doesn't change the dynamic in our relationship because we've discussed it, right? And I also don't think that sometimes what can happen is I don't think that you should use that as a reason to say, as a male, like, yo, my purpose is not to just be the guy who's the provider. My purpose is to build and create. Like, I don't look at myself and say that my purpose in life is to be with a woman. My purpose, I was put here to create, to build, right? And that's what I'm trying to do, right? Like, that's why I run two businesses, because I'm trying to build and create. Off of the strength of that, demonstrating my ability as a man to do that, you're going to trust me to lead in our relationship because you see that I can build, create, and maintain, right? My own responsibilities are my own responsibilities and they're taken care of. When we do life together, this is just my perception. When we come together to do life, there's points where you're going to have to play a role where you need to be responsible and I can't help you because I'm off creating and building, right? In the subsect of that, though, it does help us as a couple have a comfortable life together, right? So I wouldn't just say, well, I'm the man, and because I pay the bills and my name's on the mortgage, you can't. You're looking to create a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're searching for conflict if you lead a conversation with that. You know,
That's true.
understanding that, hey, there's going to be times where you're gonna have to go the way I want to go because it fits the program based on the design that we have for our life, right? That's a completely different conversation. Leading through the do this because, as opposed to leading through, hey, this is what I've done and you should trust me based on the fact that I've been here, I've sustained and I've maintained and I've advanced is a completely different conversation. Like, the proof is in the pudding of my life.
Yeah.
Like, one of the arguments I've had in personal relationships was, oh, you're controlling. Am I? It's like, what am I asking you for? To not go to a gas station at 11 o'clock at night by yourself as a woman? Your friend gets robbed and now you're, and it's like, well, remember that time when I told you about the gas station? I know, but it was the way you said it. And it's like, okay, so let me examine what I said. Hey, from now on, please don't go to the gas station by yourself at 11 o'clock. That's not smart. You see what I'm saying? It's all in the circumstance, the wording, and the choice in that moment, depending on what it is you're talking about. Because if you're discussing money and power dynamics, it's always going to get ugly. I think you have to both be like okay with whatever your financial situation is between the two of you and find common ground to discuss it and be comfortable with it. If you both make money, because that's the dynamic that we live in now, right? Your man works the same job that you do. So how do you think that's going to play out when y'all start living together? Because he can't go, I make more money than you, sit down. And you
Yeah.
can't go, I make more money than you, so you sit down.
Right.
So how does that work?
Well, I was actually just about to talk about this. The whole like stigma, like the man takes care of the house. Like, you know, in the 1960s where like the women were the stay-at-home moms, they wouldn't work, they would just cook and clean all day, pretty
Yeah.
much. I don't like that. That's just me
Well,
personally.
no, because we live in a different time. I mean, it's 2023. It's not 1960.
Right. So, going back to your question, both me and Christian work the same job. We both have the same seniority. So, we both make the same amount of money. Now, there's certain things that we can do at work that can increase our pay. We can do international trips. I speak Spanish, so I automatically qualify for a little bit more than he does. But at the end of the day, when we have our household, it's not, oh, I pay the bills this month, so I'm ordering you not to go out this weekend. It's not going to be like that. We plan on doing like a 50-50 dynamic, honestly. And
Well, how many people you see sitting up on social media saying they're not going for that? Like, it
Yeah, but
plays
that's
a
their
major role.
problem.
Like, everybody's saying that nowadays.
Dynamic within it.
Right. within the confines of the relationship. But how many people do you know? I ain't doing 50-50. You're a man.
I feel like
I
that's,
mean, but that's their
I feel like that's what's
Problem.
being I'm
think
gonna choose
it's
my
been-
word. That's what's being trending right now with city
Yeah.
girls. Like
it's just
Trending.
it's just
I
a
need a
trend.
rich I need a rich man to take care of my bills and blah blah blah. But not all girls are like that. Some girls like being independent. Some girls like making their own money and saying, if my man doesn't want to give me money this week, well fuck you. I have my own money.
Like our parents our mothers spent their whole lives telling us to not depend
Rely on a
man.
My-
And now
my
people
own
are like,
father
"I'm
told
not
me
doing
this."
50-50."
If we're gonna talk about that, I think what that has created is this level of hyper independence that shows up in relationships and causes problems.
That too.
But it has to, like, things need to happen and then it will balance out. Like, it will get to a point where it's better. That's why it's hyper right now, because it was so under before. Now
I
it's
see what you're
like
saying.
the opposite, and then it
Right,
will
the pendulum has to swing back
stabilize.
the other way. I just think that if you're talking power dynamics in a relationship, really what it boils down to.
But what is power dynamics?
value.
Financials? Is that where we're?
No. In any sense, because it could be that you're dealing with a man who's hyper successful, and if he is, some men, not all, they tend to play the game of ego and numbers, and he'll say, well, if you leave because you're upset that I went out, go ahead, right?
We're
Because he
gonna find
knows
out like me.
you're replaceable to him. He doesn't hold you, and that's not no. That's not to degrade your value. Let me say,
Yeah,
that.
I was about to say I'm pretty.
It's not to
valuable.
degrade your value as a woman. It's just his perception of what he's worth. So he's hedging his bets on himself and then misbehaving because of that. I make 6 figures. I'm gonna do what I want.
Can't tell me nothing.
You can't tell me shit, right? It's like, well, if you make 6 figures and you stay with one woman, that 6 can turn into something else because your focus isn't on other women. It's on building.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But that conversation always toes the line with a woman saying, well, I make my own money, so fuck you. You get what I'm saying? And then a man now is going to say, well, damn, if that's how you really feel, fuck it then. I ain't staying here. Because it's bigger to be respected, right? And that's what I was trying to go back to. If there's respect, there's always going to be a space for love.
for both parties, right?
Because a man, I say it all the time. I would rather you respect me than love me. I would much rather
Really?
I would much rather you, because I know if you respect me, there's just certain things you won't do out of the fact that when I say, damn, I feel disrespected by you, it's gonna sting a lot worse.
I understand that, and that is a good point. But have you ever heard of the saying like, "I respect my father because I fear my father"?
No, not fear-based respect.
That's a different
That-
kind of
but-
respect.
Different.
But that's also considered under the category of respect.
But it's under the
It's under the category of assertive respect.
yeah
Like he gained that respect through fear, tactics, intentions
facts.
that were
shit that he was doing to you
right.
that got you
to get
scared.
you to a place where you fear him, and then you won't misbehave. Oh, I'm not gonna do that because my dad.
I know,
did this.
yeah.
Right. That's like that shit when your mom, when you were young, like I'm gonna call your father. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right. You knew what that came with. So it's not the same. Like I'm gonna call your man. It's like no. I respect him as a man, and I respect what we have so much that I can't lose that, because losing that is the equivalent of losing him.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? So to me, I always say it's about respect for me above all else. And I treat everybody that same way. Like I'm gonna be respectful because I want you to respect me in tow. Because if you respect what we have, you're not gonna just jeopardize it by flexing your power by saying you make more money than me.
Right.
Even within the confines of a relationship. I would much rather it be
And you're still gonna get that love anyways. So like, if you get respect, you gotta get respect and love. If you get love, you're just gonna get love and no respect.
So I hate the term though, power in a relationship.
why.
But there always is.
What
Every
do you-
relationship has a power dynamic.
Some,
But what is the power? Like who loves more who, or who has more financial
No,
gain
who
than the
has-
other?
like if we're talking about an established life,
could be
everything
50-50.
it's money.
Yeah, power. You could even say
It's
power and
money.
talk
Okay, so
about 50-50.
we're talking about financials then.
I mean, to
Could be
me,
everything.
the power
Power
is
comes from-
it comes from money. Like for example, if let's say I want to be a housewife, right,
Okay.
and a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
Let's say I never work a day in my life ever again, and she's working and she's making all the money. I'm taking care of the house. I'm taking care of what she's eating, what she's dressing, what her kids, like her kids' existence.
Right.
But she still has more power because she has money. She can get up and leave and do whatever she wants. I can't.
But you also
Yeah,
got
but
power.
if you-
You also got power too.
If
'cause
you right,
I no, I do got power. I'm not saying I don't. It's just like in reality, like if we're being realistic, she is holding the power because she is holding the money. Like no one's gonna recognize more the work that I do
okay.
if
So
we're putting it against the money she has.
let me
I don't
let me ask y'all
I don't
this
like
real quick.
that.
It's not right. It's just how it is.
Let me ask you a question really quick though. In that same space, right? Like if you're going to say that power dynamic exists within the confines of a relationship, right? And we live in a world where we've pushed for equality so much that we have extremist versions of it. Because there are women out here who are feminists, and then there are women out here who are extremists about feminism,
Yeah.
right? Where they're like, you don't need a man, men need to die, and men didn't create anything.
Oh
and we're
no, I
oppressors.
love my man. Thank you very much.
Right? No. But what I'm trying to get at is this, right? Just the same dynamic that you talked about. If the person has the money, it doesn't rob you of the option of ever leaving, right? It does pose the question though of how are you treating this person because you think your assumed power of the dollar, right?
Right, you're putting a dollar value on
On your relationship. You don't think
relationship,
that
and I don't
might
like that.
complicate things.
I don't think that's what I don't understand.
So if you're saying like, okay, a man makes money, and because he is a man and he makes money, but just right, he makes X and she doesn't make anything. She's home with the children, and she takes care of and facilitates the home being ran smoothly. That should not negate her power as a person.
facts.
No, it doesn't. It shouldn't. But the thing is, it makes it harder. Like, how many stories haven't we heard of women not leaving a relationship because they don't know what they're gonna do with their lives because they don't have money, because they don't work, because they're a stay-at-home wife or mom. It doesn't take their power away, but when we are in real life and not in speculations and hypotheses and debates on a podcast, it does. Because what is she gonna do? Is she gonna go out and live on the streets?
Well, no.
So-
If she's a married woman, she's protected by the state.
I know,
Right.
but still,
But-
like,
So you know what? Coming
There's
from
no. Hold on. Let me say this. Your life, if you marry someone,
You said
you do not. There's no state in this country that a woman does not clean a man out when they get divorced.
she said.
Like
if a prenup is not in place.
divorce. No, even to hell with a prenup. Like even a prenup, if it's not well written, doesn't protect
Yeah.
a man. You go to court, the kids go to your wife.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Your
Yeah,
money,
let's say-
your retirement, your pension, even half your business can go to your wife.
let's say you're not married then. Like, you're not.
But like,
I
you know
think that
what?
you should have a responsibility as a woman because of the world that we live in. If we're going to
Oh,
talk
you
in that
should.
context, go out and work.
No,
Not only
absolutely.
that, but history repeating itself. I come from a Latino family. It was very common back in the day for men to cheat, and the woman would still stay, even though she knew her mans were cheating, and they would do nothing about it. They would just live in an unhappy life. So, having that background in my culture, I know as a woman, I never want to put myself in that predicament. Although, yeah, me and Christian work the same job, we get paid the same way. I'm still going to make sure I have a paycheck at the end of the day because God forbid, Christian wants to leave me, I still have my money. There is no upper hand. There is no power in my relationship dynamic, I would like to say, because Christian can't tell me to sit down. I can't tell Christian to sit down. Some months he might be short, I'll spot him. Some months I might be short, he'll spot me. So I don't like the whole power term being placed on financials, if that
But
makes sense.
That's the reality, though. She's right in a weird way. Like it's unfortunate, but it's true. There are
It
people
is.
who literally
Who are the
deal
most
in-
powerful people in the world? The richest people. It's not the ones that do the most charity or the best person, and it's the most
No, we're talking
powerful.
about like a dynamic as a relationship.
I know, but it doesn't matter because money will always give you power. Anyway,
I feel like with what you're saying, so okay, like maybe on some months you got it and he doesn't. I think the respect comes in when you're like trusting your man to lead. And like, yes, there might be a 50-50 power divide, but understanding that a man is a man innately and like you're trusting him to lead and he's still there to protect and provide.
For sure. But I don't want to base that on him the whole entire relationship. There might be, I don't know, a year where he get laid off and like he's not providing, he's not being a man, he's staying at home and cleaning.
No, but you can't say he's not being
Nah,
a man.
see, that's
you
the
can't
thing.
say that.
You'd end up
Yeah.
in trouble if you went to Christian right now
Yeah.
and said you're not a man because you're not working.
No, well, I'm just saying because that's what we're classifying as a man, the hardworking one, the one who provides and protects a household, right?
But for you to go and tell
Here's
him
the
that,
thing.
No, I'm not
He's
saying
not a
that.
man because of that. He might be a bum right now.
No.
No, not even
No,
that.
not even
No.
that. He's in a
No.
stucky situation
Oh.
that sucks. But I'm just using that term because that's what we're using right now to classify a man, a hardworking man who takes care of his
We
family.
weren't placing his value on whether or not he takes care of his responsibilities. Those things are his obligation. You created them. You're responsible for them. It's the same thing if a woman did it. If you went out and acquired $30,000 worth of credit card debt, it is not your partner's responsibility to take care of that.
Yeah.
He doesn't inherit your problems because y'all are now together, and then you say and justify, well, you're not a real man because you won't pay my bills.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, God forbid, say Christian were to get laid off and he hasn't been able to hold a job in 2 years. He's right now at home taking care of the kids. He's right now cooking, doing the schedules, and I'm the one providing. That doesn't devalue him as a man. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Okay, I thought that you were saying,
But that
you ain't a
doesn't. That
man
also
'cause your
doesn't
ass ain't
mean
out
he
working.
doesn't have power in our relationship. If he has an opinion or something I'm doing, or he wants to give an input, I'm his wife. I'm gonna sit down and listen. Same thing. If I have an input or I have something to say, I would hope and pray that he does that. Like,
Right.
hear me out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't really like the term power when it comes to a relationship in that sense.
But unfortunately, I do think that even within my relationship, there's a power dynamic.
You think?
There is a power dynamic at play in every relationship. Like it's not this thing of like nastiness though. Don't
Yeah,
see
power
it as
doesn't have to be.
it's not dirty. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
I feel like when I associate the word power, I associate it with like, oh, I have the upper hand.
what Britt said actually really, really put the nail right in the wood. Like, there's no debating that. Like, a man is innately going to be a man. There's just a certain point where he can't help himself even. It's just built in him to want to lead. You understand?
Right.
And if you follow, you follow. And if you don't, you don't. Where I think clashes come in relationships is where the concepts that you've derived manhood from are probably based in some negative connotation of what a man is. So it manifests itself for you in a way where you're like, I ain't listening to no man. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't married, so you can't tell me what to do. And then you don't understand that that's problematic and that in itself is going to cause problems.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say power doesn't exist. I would much rather say it does, but you're dealing with two people who are like actively adhering. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he wants to go this way. I'll do that. And then the man can say, well, I've this, and this, and this. I can give in to that. Like, I don't want to watch Barbie, but every other action movie with shit blowing up, I'm like, come on, let's go. I'm buying the ticket and I'm sending her the screenshot. I'm not even waiting. You know what I'm saying? So I have to have the same energy about her wanting to watch Barbie. Like, hey, I bought the tickets, let's go. I'm not going to enjoy Barbie, but I'm going.
Yeah, I think like
That's a power dynamic. You follow?
I think this-
Okay, I would say that's more of respect and understanding, but I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. It's more of a respect. It's a give and take
Yes.
kind of thing.
yeah. So for me, I feel
That's
like
how power shows up to me in a relationship.
I feel like
I
power is like
understand.
it's like a 50-50 thing. Like me growing up, my mom and dad, it's like, you know, it'd be times when my mom make the most amount of money and she do it, and it's still a 50-50 household, and it's a time when my dad makes the most amount of money and it's still a 50-50 household. I just feel like it boils down to communication, having that conversation to understand like this is what we're doing. But 9 times out of 10, the man is always gonna be like the power. Like he's gonna make the final decisions and the final say so. Whether he has most amount of money or not, he's just gonna make those kind of decisions. Not to say that a woman cannot also do the
But I
same.
think that's where conflict is going to arise.
Yeah, that's
Why?
Because a woman will say, I make the money. Why are you making decisions about my money?
I was gonna say
But
that
it's
in
not really-
regards to
Go
her
ahead.
question, like to bring it back there. I feel like I'm not a man, so I can't speak for a man, but I feel like where it would pose as a problem for a man is if she's holding it over
Over his
his
head.
head.
Yeah, like
Like if she's still relinquishing a sense of like
Responsibility.
exactly like you're the man, I'm trusting you to lead, and like you are the protector of our home and what we have built together. I think she's still respecting him and their relationship
Word.
as opposed to if like obviously she's the breadwinner and she's busy and she's a boss ass bitch, but she's throwing that in his face like, I can't talk to you right now, I got
meetings
meetings
and
and I got money to make,
Exactly.
like these bills aren't gonna pay themselves, like
I think that I saw that with my parents, right? Like when my father stopped playing baseball, my mom was still working, but my dad was getting a stipend, like obviously the rest of his checks from when he quit. And my mom, inherently at times, she would say things like, you didn't make any money this month, don't argue with me. But that's because their relationship was that type of relationship where my dad would make 6 figures and then my mom would just sit at home some months and be like, I don't feel like going to work. And she wouldn't have to. And he'd be like, okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? So when it dropped, it just dropped. The bottom came out so hard that she resented him and didn't respect him as a man anymore. So it's like the way you're saying it sounds great, but I think if it really was to play out where, you know what I'm saying, you not doing nothing to
But I feel
contribute
like
as
that's
a
what
man,
a
it would be
union
a problem.
is. Like, I feel like we're putting a lot of stigma on a man to take care of a household. Like, it's okay to have a year or two, or where like
Well,
you
life
lose
is
your
gonna
job.
life,
Yeah,
right.
life might not do you the best hand.
True.
And that's okay. But I don't feel like we have to crucify a man for not being able to pay the bills for a household, but I can.
I think it goes back to like how you was raised, because like me personally, like I look at it like I'm 50-50. I could be a millionaire, my baby don't make nothing, or she could be a millionaire, vice versa. Like I'm looking at 50-50 either way. But that's just based off how I was raised, knowing that mom and father.
Yeah.
And also, like, the power dynamic is different, right? Because there's no denying that power, like, money is power. But there's also, like, for me, for example, I know that financially right now, it's not the case. Like, we're pretty much 50-50. But there's other things where I give her the power and she gives me the power. And it might not be like balanced 50-50 all the time, but we both know where our power lays,
Right.
you know? So that's like the power dynamic. Like she knows that at home, I'm the power. And I know that like if we're counting on building a future, like she's a power. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And
So
it's
we got to wrap this up,
different.
yo. 'Cause
Yeah, we got
we're
it.
late, we got places to be. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, we need to do a part 2. I had like 2 more questions. No
Yeah,
cap, like,
me too.
Yo,
Lord.
I was kind of picking my question like, all right, let me get in a little decent
know.
one. And then I was like, yo, I'm gonna smack them with the next one.
Ask y'all spicy questions first.
Nah.
Look at the
So listen, I
time.
ain't gonna lie, we need to do a part 2 for this, no cap.
We got things to do. Thank y'all
But
so
we
much
gotta
for
go.
tapping in. Season
Season
6.
finale. That is a
that's a
wrap.
wrap. Thank you for having me.
No, Britt gonna come back so me and her can keep arguing. Don't worry.
For sure.
We gonna go at it about this
Yo,
Instagram.
I'm telling you, my question was gonna be crazy.
Oh no!
Yo, just
now we
save
need
it
a
for
part
next
2.
Yo.
Save it for
Thank
next
y'all for
season.
My
tuning in.
question?
Friends and Family Podcast on Instagram. Make sure you tap in Wednesday.
Tisk.
We're everywhere. SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. We're there. You know what I'm
YouTube,
saying?
subscribe,
YouTube.
like, comment.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
All right.
We out of here.
Peace.
See you next season.
See you next season.
Bye.